All right, and it goes here. According to Metropoli, law enforcement officials have arrested Dejanay Jackson, a friend of the murder victim Shanquella Robinson, who died after being seen in a viral video being beaten by someone who she was with on a birthday excursion. The suspect was arrested by Interpol agents on November 28th. A Mexican judge had issued an arrest warrant for Robinson, charging her with the crime of femicide. Now, hold up 1 second. As soon as I saw here Interpol agents, I was like, yeah, what the?
Stop the cap.
Like, there's no such thing as Interpol agents.
Stop the cap.
Okay. Now, here's what Interpol really is, guys. Okay. And I have Interpol, guys. All right. It's an international criminal police organization. Is the world's largest international police organization with 194 member countries. Founded in 1923, its mission is to facilitate the exchange of police information and promote cooperation and assistance between law enforcement authorities of its member countries. Okay, so what does this mean in plain English? Interpol doesn't have its own law enforcement officers. It has law enforcement officers from other jurisdictions, countries, agencies that sit under one house, working together to facilitate the exchange of information and to conduct law enforcement activities together. How do I know this? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, I just read it for y'all. And then number two, I've actually worked with Interpol, goddammit. Okay, that's why in the beginning of the podcast, I wanted to make sure I showed you guys that I did a case that involved international parties. I did a case with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the CBSA, Turks and Caicos Police. I had the Swedes involved. That case was an all-encompassing case all over the world because I had targets all over the place. So I know what Interpol actually does from my training experience and also from knowing what's obviously what I just read for y'all, right? Right, I gave you guys the boiled down, easier version to digest. But Interpol does not have its own law enforcement people. All Interpol does, guys, is it's just think of it as it's a house where you got different agencies, right? Law enforcement agencies, not intelligence agencies, law enforcement agencies working together to facilitate law enforcement stuff. So I'll give you an example. I had a guy, right, that I was looking at that was committing some money laundering activities in I think it was Sweden or Norway, right? And he was associated with one of my other targets. So I reached out to my attaché, right, or my international counterpart in that country. He, right, knew someone over at Interpol, and he reached out to him to get some other information from the host country, and I got a police report from that country thanks to Interpol facilitating that. What it does is it connects different agencies together so they can exchange information and or work together to arrest people. So if someone has like a red notice or whatever it may be, which is like, think of it as like kind of like a provincial arrest warrant to pick somebody up in another country, Interpol helps facilitate all that. Okay, it's simply just a medium to connect agencies, but it does not have its own law enforcement officials. Okay, like that are Interpol agents.